You are a prisoner. You may think you are free, but you are not. You are held captive by your reactions. When someone insults you, you get angry. When someone ignores you, you get sad. When the world is chaotic, you become anxious. You have handed the remote control of your emotions to everyone else around you. Any stranger on the street can ruin your day with just one word. Is this power? No. This is weakness. True power is not about controlling others. It is about controlling yourself. It is the ability to stand in the middle of a storm and remain completely still. Today, we are going to explore the ancient art of silence. Not the silence of weakness, but the silence of strength. We will uncover why the most dangerous person in the room is always the quietest. By the end of this video, you will learn how to stop reacting, how to detach from insults, and how to reclaim your mind. Welcome to Urban Echo Mind. The story begins. To understand this power, we must travel back in time. Gautama Buddha was traveling through a village. He was not alone. A crowd of disciples followed him. His fame had spread far and wide, and people gathered just to catch a glimpse of him. But not everyone loved him. There were those who were jealous of his light. One day, a young man filled with hatred and arrogance pushed his way through the crowd. He stood directly in front of Buddha. His face was red with rage. He began to scream. He called Buddha a fraud. He insulted his family, his teachings, and his existence. He used the filthiest words imaginable. He spat on the ground near Buddha's feet. The disciples were furious. They stood up, ready to fight. They wanted to punish this man for his disrespect. The crowd was shocked. The tension in the air was thick, like a storm about to break. But Buddha did nothing. He did not frown. He did not look away. He did not shout back. He simply sat there with a slight, compassionate smile on his face. He looked at the angry man, not with fear, but with pity. This silence made the man even angrier. It is a psychological fact. Anger needs a reflection to survive. When you scream at a wall, you eventually stop, because the wall does not scream back. The man shouted for an hour until his throat was dry and his energy was exhausted. Finally, panting and sweating, he looked at Buddha and yelled, "Why do you not answer me? Are you deaf or are you a coward?" Buddha broke his silence. His voice was calm, like a deep ocean. He asked a simple question. "Tell me, my son, if you buy a gift for someone and that person refuses to accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man was confused. He expected a philosophical debate, not a simple question about a gift. He replied, "If they refuse it, the gift stays with me. It belongs to me." Buddha nodded slowly. "Exactly. In the same way, you have brought me gifts of anger, insults, and hate. But I do not accept them. So tell me, who do they belong to now?" Psychology of reaction. The realization, the man stood frozen. The words hit him harder than any punch could have. He realized that he was burning in his own fire. He had come to hurt Buddha, but he had only hurt himself. Buddha was untouched. He was a mirror. The man saw his own ugliness reflected back at him, and he could not bear it. He fell to his knees and wept. The analysis. This story is not just a legend. It is a lesson in advanced human psychology. In the modern world, we have forgotten this lesson. We live in a culture of reaction. If someone comments on your photo, you must reply. If someone sends an email, you must answer. If someone cuts you off in traffic, you must honk. We are constantly playing ping pong with other people's energy. But here is the dark truth. When you react, you are being manipulated. The psychology of reaction. The realization. The man stood frozen. The words hit him harder than any punch could have. He realized that he was burning in his own fire. He had come to hurt Buddha, but he had only hurt himself. Buddha was untouched. He was a mirror. The man saw his own ugliness reflected back at him, and he could not bear it. He fell to his knees and wept. The analysis. This story is not just a legend. It is a lesson in advanced human psychology. In the modern world, we have forgotten this lesson. We live in a culture of reaction. If someone comments on your photo, you must reply. If someone sends an email, you must answer. If someone cuts you off in traffic, you must honk. We are constantly playing ping pong with other people's energy. But here is the dark truth. When you react, you are being manipulated. Think about the gray rock method we discussed before. Narcissists, manipulators, and toxic people feed on your reaction. They want to drag you down to their level. When you argue with a fool, there are two fools. Buddha's technique was simple: detachment. He understood a fundamental law of the universe. You cannot be hurt by what you do not accept. Imagine your mind is a house. You are the owner of this house. Words and insults are like packages delivered to your doorstep. Most people open every package. They take the insults inside. They open them. They look at them, and they let the trash fill up their living room. They say, "Look what he sent me. It is so terrible." But you have a choice. You can look at the package, see that it is trash, and simply close the door. You don't have to bring it inside. This is the power of not accepting. When someone insults you, they are offering you a gift of poison. If you get angry, you have taken the poison and drank it. If you remain silent, the poison remains in their hands, burning them. Silence as a weapon. Silence is not just defense, it is a weapon. In a negotiation, the person who speaks less holds the power. In an argument, the person who stays calm controls the frame. When you are silent, you become unpredictable. We learned this in the black box theory. People fear what they cannot read. When you are angry, you are readable. When you are silent, you are a mystery. Silence creates a vacuum. It makes the other person uncomfortable. They feel the need to fill that silence, and in doing so, they often reveal their own insecurities and lies. Modern mastery and how to apply this. So how do you apply this Zen wisdom in a world full of noise, social media, and stress? You do not need to become a monk. You do not need to go to a cave. You just need to practice the pause. The next time someone triggers you, your boss, your partner, or a random comment on the internet, do not react immediately. Take a deep breath. Create a gap between the stimulus, what happened, and the response, what you do. In that gap, ask yourself, do I want to accept this gift? If the answer is no, then remain silent. Or respond with facts, not emotions. Visualize a glass wall between you and the world. You can see everything, you can hear everything, but nothing can touch you. The insults hit the glass and slide off. The challenge: this is not easy. Your ego wants to fight back. Your ego wants to prove that you are right. But the ego is a loud child. The soul is a quiet master. True strength is knowing that you do not need to prove anything to anyone. A lion does not turn around when a dog barks. The world is noisy. Everyone is screaming for attention. Everyone is desperate to be heard. In such a world, silence is the ultimate luxury. It is the ultimate rebellion. Be the one who does not react. Be the one who observes. Be the one who keeps the gift of anger where it belongs, in the hands of the giver. Control your silence, and you will control your life. This is Urban Echo Mind. If you found value in the silence, break it only to hit the like button. And if you want to master the depths of your own psychology, subscribe to the channel. The journey inward has just begun.